First of all, let's clarify the type here. What type of question is this? It's in the must be true category. I guess if you want to get technical, it's a must be false, right? Because it's looking for something that conflicts. But the bottom line is it's a top-down question, and we're saying, hey, this principle is not consistent with the argument in the letter. The argument in the letter is basically saying what? Hey, newspaper people.
This guy is trusted, so you shouldn't be critical of him in your argument.
This guy is trusted, so you shouldn't be critical of him, right? You're having unjustified bias. All right. Let's start with answer choice A. If a claim is extraordinary, is this guy's claim extraordinary? Yes. If this were not extraordinary, something like that, we'd be like, okay, moving on because that doesn't apply here. This guy's claim is extraordinary, so this rule, whatever it's going to say next, does apply, right? If it's extraordinary, it should not be presented uncritically. Wait. It should not be presented uncritically. What is that?
It should be presented critically.
Yeah, it's got a double negative, right? So I just crossed out the I crossed out the not, and I got it should be presented critically. Wait, is that consistent so far or inconsistent with the guy's argument? It's inconsistent. Because he's saying, you guys shouldn't be so critical of this trusted member. And this is saying, well, if it's extraordinary, then you should be critical. Unless what? There's an exception. Unless it is backed by evidence of an extraordinarily high standard. Is this guy's evidence backed, or is his claim backed by evidence of an extraordinarily high standard? No. So the exception doesn't apply, which means we go back to the rule, which is it should be presented critically, and it was presented critically, but this guy's saying it shouldn't be, right? Letter to the editor is saying don't be critical. A is saying be critical unless there's really, really good evidence. And there wasn't really, really good evidence, so we should be critical. So the newspaper was right. The letter to the editor was wrong. Therefore, answer choice A is something that conflicts with the argument in the letter. Lauren, are you okay with that? A sounds pretty good. Let's keep it open. Answer choice B. Why is B wrong?
Opposite answer. Oh, I don't know, actually.
Wait. One should be skeptical. That's going against the argument.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
The intermediary source.
Intermediary source. Yeah, it was a direct source, right?
Yeah.
Testimony came from the guy himself.
Yeah, exactly. So this is saying you should be skeptical if it comes from an intermediary source.
Yep.
This doesn't come in from an intermediary source. Therefore, you should not be skeptical.
False contrapositive. Just because you should be skeptical when it comes from an intermediary source doesn't mean that you should not be skeptical when it doesn't. Remember when
Does it only come before the intermediary source?
One should be skeptical of claims that are based on testimonial evidence that is acquired only through an intermediary source, right? So you should be skeptical when they come only from this source. Does that mean that when they don't come from that source, you shouldn't be skeptical?
I understand being skeptical as sufficient for it coming from an intermediary source.
No. Skeptical is actually the necessary condition. If I said, you should be happy when you eat bananas, that's saying if banana, then happy, not if happy, then banana. So here this is saying, look, you should be skeptical in this circumstance. That doesn't mean that if you're not in this circumstance that you shouldn't be skeptical.
I understand how necessary and sufficient conditions work, but I don't understand this. I thought only comes before a necessary condition.
No. So when only is separating two like core clauses of a sentence, then it's introducing a necessary condition. But in this case, it's just modifying the idea that it came through an intermediary source. The actual clause is one should be skeptical. What should you be skeptical of? Oh, claims that are yada, 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 yada. So When it's this type of claim, then you should be skeptical. If it's not this type of claim, that doesn't necessarily mean you should not be skeptical. So the whole if clause is basically what kind of claim you're talking about. That is the situation or the circumstance in which you should be skeptical.
Okay.
Either way,
This is,
not happening here.
this is dumb, but I thought that like the guy was an intermediary source because I thought the aliens had to be like the direct source.
Oh, like the aliens,
Like, they would
we
have to
came.
They would have to come down. Like, we got here.
I think the testimonial evidence, that's what he says.
Okay.
And that is not acquired through an intermediary source. That's acquired directly through the person giving the testimony. That's a good thought, though. Answer choice C, I think, is the opposite. If the media outlet has a trusted source, which presumably it does, and it has a good reputation, which presumably it does, the outlet should continue to trust that source. That's consistent with the argument. Answer choice D, what makes this wrong? People who think they observe supernatural phenomena?
Wait, why was C wrong?
Oh, C is consistent with the original argument. We're looking for something that conflicts with the original argument.
Okay.
Wait, but aren't they not trusting him by criticizing
They
him?
aren't trusting him, but what does the letter to the editor think they should do?
That they should trust him.
That they should trust him. And we're looking for an answer that conflicts with the letter to the editor's argument, not the newspaper. All right, answer choice D. Why is it wrong?
It's not that like the guy shouldn't publicize it. It's
Yeah.
the newspaper.
It's about the newspaper, not about the guy, right? Well, answer choice D is about the guy. We don't care about the guy. The argument is all about what the newspaper should or should not have done. So as soon as it says people who think they observe supernatural phenomena, you can stop. We're like, we don't care about those people. Answer choice E. The newspaper should not publish a report unless it is confirmed by an independent source. We're not talking about whether to publish or not. It's about the criticalness of the report. Are we cool with this? Okay.